Hey guys, MarshallOrdnance.com. Extremely excited to talk about our first piece of apparel, our first piece of merch that we're offering. These are going to be available on ordnance.shop and ordnance.com. We spent probably 60 hours in the design, the layout, getting all the details right of this shirt. We've made this shirt for multiple reasons. The first being we have the 80th anniversary of the dropping of Little Boy Bomb L-11 on Hiroshima, Japan, August 6, 1945. So August 6, 2025. So that's the main reason for the anniversary that we made these shirts. Secondly, we also finished a multi-month project that we've been working on for the National Museum of Military Vehicles in Du Bois, Wyoming. They commissioned us to build the most accurate copy of the L-11 1-to-1 scale that has ever been made. It's 100% metal. We didn't use any plastic. We didn't use any wood, no fiberglass, 100%, no 3D printed parts, 100% metal. Exact details copied, the exact size, 28 inches in diameter, 120 inches long, every detail copied. The multi-month project, it was 1,500 hours of work, a huge project, so we wanted to commemorate the completion, successful completion, and the shipping out of the bomb. It just shipped out a couple days ago. It's currently en route and on its way to Du Bois, Wyoming. The third reason that we made these shirts is because we hit 1 million subscribers a couple weeks ago, and we are extremely excited about that. So 1 million subscribers, we completed the most accurate bomb copy ever done before for Little Boy, and it is the 80th anniversary. So let's talk about the shirts first. And the biggest thing that I want to talk about these shirts is the fact that it is 100% USA done. And what I mean by that is the shirts themselves are made in the USA. These are not Chinese shirts. These are not Nicaraguan shirts. They're not Honduran shirts. They're made in the USA. The design, 100% made in the USA. The ink, 100% made in the USA. The printing was done 100% in the USA. The original design of the bomb, obviously Manhattan Project, that was all here in the US. Our copy of the bomb that we made, that we finished just a couple days ago, 100% here in the US. So we are all about supporting US ideals, US designs, US manufacturing. So that is why it was very, very important to us. We could have done this shirt. It's a 6-color shirt, so that cost a lot. We printed on both sleeves, the back, full color on the back and the front. We could have outsourced these to China and probably had them made for 1/4 of the price that we paid. So we didn't spare any expense. We also trying to price them in a way that it's affordable for everybody. So 100% USA done. I can't overstate that enough. It's a big, big deal. We're very proud of that. Everything that we're going to be doing for our merchandise is going to be USA, supporting USA companies and USA made. This is an ordinance. This is not, I'm wearing gloves. The shirts themselves are not radioactive, obviously. We can ship these shirts all over the world. They're available at ordnance.shop, ordnance.com, which is our main website, but ordnance.shop is our merch website. They'll be available there, and we're happy to ship. I think it's maybe 15 or 20 different countries that we can ship to. Let's talk about the design of the shirt. I'm super excited. I personally worked on this for 40 or 50 hours, the design. Every last detail was extremely important to me. I'm a bearer for details. So let's just talk a little bit about the details. Sizes. Let me touch on the sizes real quick. This shirt is a large. We're going to have these shirts available small, medium, large, extra large, 2XL, and 3XL. The smalls, mediums, larges, extra larges are all going to be the same price, with 2XL being $2 more per shirt and 3XL being $3 more per shirt. Shirt design. We have Little Boy, which was the nickname given to the bomb. L-11, which was the code name for the bomb. We have our 80th anniversary dates. The original dropping of the bomb on 6 August 1945 and 6 August 2025, which is coming up in just a couple weeks. A nice detail here, the APS-13 Yagi antennas are separating the day of the month and the month itself, which is a nice touch that I liked. This is a forward-facing view of the bomb, and all the details and scaling is correct. So we're looking at the front of the bomb, the L-11 here. We've got the lift lug, which is what secured the bomb in the bomb bay of the Enola Gay. The nose nut, which is a circular 15-inch disc in the front here. Your 2-inch plugs here in the very center. You had your locking nut and your washer. 80th anniversary. U-235, which is the enriched uranium-238. It was enriched to 235. 15 kiloton yield. And then obviously the target city, Hiroshima, Japan, here at the bottom. Every last detail is correct. Lift lug, Yagi APS-13s, your upper antennas, your lower antennas. You have your red arming plugs that have been present in the bomb to initiate the arming sequence when the bomb was dropped. And the line back here, the square, is you're looking at the front face of the bomb. So this is the front face of the square box fins. They were 30 inches by 30 inches on the original bomb. And that's what that detail is. So that's the front of the shirt. Let's open it up. Give you an idea of proportion. Like so. The left sleeve. We have the period correct 48-star American flag. Beneath that we have our logo, ordnance.com. Over to the right sleeve, we have the symbol for atomic power, atomic energy. And then within that we have multiple elements that I'll explain here. Clinton Engineer Works. That was the name of the facility, the Manhattan Project facility, Oak Ridge, Tennessee. And we're also in Tennessee. We're in West Tennessee, but this facility is in East Tennessee. The facility is still there today. But during World War II, General Groves went and bought some odd 50,000 acres and created the Clinton Engineer Works, which was the name that was given to this covert project, and it was the enrichment of the uranium for the bomb. About 140 pounds, about 64 kilograms of enriched uranium-238, which became uranium-235, was used in the bomb. The yield was about 15 kilotons. Only about 1.38% of that material fissioned. If 100% would have fissioned, it would have been about a 1 megaton yield. So just a remarkable difference there. Uranium was used in the bomb. We have the U for the periodic table symbol, the element for uranium. Oralloy, which was the name given to U-235, which is Oak Ridge alloy. They called it Oralloy. It was their cryptic name for U-235 because obviously they were very concerned about espionage, and rightfully so. And then within the Clinton Engineer Works, they had multiple plants and different approaches for enriching uranium to weapons grade. And so 3 of the biggest plants are represented here. We have the S50 plant, which was the thermal diffusion plant, the K25 plant, which was the gaseous diffusion plant, and then the Y12 plant, which was the electromagnetic separation plant. And Oppenheimer himself came up with the idea that the output of certain plants could be the input for other plants. And we actually listed these in the order. The output of the S50 plant was the input to the K25 plant, and the output of the K25 plant was the input to the Y12 plant. Oppenheimer made that suggestion to General Groves, and that it increased the efficiency and the output of the uranium at the plant. Beneath this, we have the infamous requote from J. Robert Oppenheimer, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." This was a requote. He was quoting Hindu scripture, and he said this, and this video is available on YouTube, and I encourage everyone to actually watch that. You can see the emotion and the feeling in Oppenheimer's face when he's talking about this. He said this after the July 16th, 1945 Trinity test. He was gravely concerned about what was to come. And so the bombing of Hiroshima, August 6, 1945, his quote actually came to fruition. Now, we're going to go ahead and talk about the back of the shirt, which is the most dramatic and very attention-getting and quite beautiful in its own way. So what we have here, we're going to start at the top of the shirt and work our way down. We've got a front-facing view of the Enola Gay, which is the B-29 silver plate bomber that Colonel Paul Tibbets himself picked off the production line at Boeing to be the aircraft, the B-29, that would be responsible for dropping the bomb, L-11. We've got the bomb bay doors open, and if you can see at the front, we have the Victor number for Enola Gay, 82 on both sides, as it was originally marked on August 6, 1945. And beneath that, we have the very large L-11 Little Boy bomb. And this bomb on the shirt was recreated from the same digital model blueprints that we had, that we recreated the actual bomb from. So every detail on here is correct. From the box fin set, to the conical section, to the barrow holes for the barometric switches inside the conical section, and the plate deflectors that you can see the edges there that would deflect air into the bomb. The bomb, when it was dropped, had, so in this configuration, this is the dropped configuration right here. We have the red arming plugs in. We have the multi-pin electrical connectors, which are gone. They got pulled out and stayed behind in the Enola Gay when it was dropped. And then the safety wires, which got pulled out. That's what started the arming sequence. So the bomb now has power at about 5,000 feet altitude. Air had been going into these inlets. The barometric switches are activated. It closed a circuit, which in turn turned on the APS-13, which was a modified tail radar that was modified on the L-11 to be a forward-facing radar. So that powered up the APS-13, the Yagi antennas. And so now they are projecting radio frequencies down toward the ground. And when it gets a return signal at 1,900 feet, it closes another circuit. It now sends power to the 3 Mark 13 electric primers, which ignite the 4 bags of cordite, which pushes the pusher plug behind the female U-235 projectile into the male U-235 target. You have your neutron initiators, and then the bomb goes critical, and a 15 kiloton yield resulted. So the bomb on the shirt is extremely accurate. This has got to be the most accurate representation of Little Boy on a piece of apparel that's ever been created. The arming plugs, which I mentioned, these would have armed and completed the circuit, so the bomb was armed when it was dropped. The safety pull-out wires are gone. Multi-pin electrical connectors are gone. This is the lift lug. This is what have secured the Little Boy inside the Enola Gay and the bomb bay up here. These are the 4 antenna bases. You had 2 upper and 2 lower Yagi antennas for the APS-13 radar set. So you can see 3 of the antennas. This one's looking straight on, and you have a side view of the antenna here. The antennas themselves, interesting footnote, were a highly, highly secretive detail that they did not want anyone to see, take pictures of, because the antennas themselves, the Yagi antennas, were designed in Japan in the mid-1930s. And so the shape of the antenna, the length of the antenna, could have revealed the frequency in which the APS-13 was operating, and therefore the bomb theoretically could have been jammed. So these were installed aboard the B-29. You're not going to find any period pictures. You'll find post-war stockpile pictures, but you're not going to find any period World War II pictures that show the Yagi antennas installed on L-11 Little Boy before it was dropped. So we have the bomb here. Next, we have the country of Japan, represented in white. And you can see the rays emanating. And this is obviously twofold here. One, we are symbolically recreating the blast coming from the bomb being detonated at 1,900 feet above the city of Hiroshima. It is also the 16 rays of the Imperial Japanese flag. And the actual sun disk, you can see the time, 08:15. This was the time the bomb detonated over the city of Hiroshima. So the 16 rays of the bomb represent the actual detonation of the bomb, and obviously Imperial Japan as well. But it also represents the releasing of the power of the sun, essentially. So this is the rising sun flag, and we have the power of the sun being unleashed upon Imperial Japan, August 6, 1945, and 3 days later with Boxcar dropping Fat Man, August 9th, 1945, on what was going to be Kokura, the initial target city, And then because of they had to get visual target through the Norden bomb site, and then it ultimately got rerouted. Sweeney ended up going on to, obviously, Nagasaki that got bombed. So this is our multi-dimensional commemorative shirt for the completion of our project of rebuilding the most accurate replica ever made for the bomb, 1 million subscribers, and obviously honoring the 80th anniversary of the event that took place August 6, 1945. These shirts will be available, ordnance.shop, ordnance.com. They will be available here very, very shortly, and they will be available for purchase all over the world. Smalls, mediums, large, extra large, 2XL, and 3XL. Very proud of the design, very proud of the fact that it's 100% USA. Thanks again, guys. You made, obviously, the 1 million subscribers possible. Couldn't have done it without you. This is our first shirt launch. This is our first launch for merch, and we're going to be doing more of this. We have multiple other designs in the works right now, and those shirts are going to be getting printed. 100% USA-made shirts. The design, everything, the ink, everything, 100% USA. Very proud of that. Thanks again, guys.